So,
Hello. Di pa nakaset up di video. Ampay ma di ka. Apay gamam latan? Apay awan di ka? Ayan nyo may kalata? Kabel tam no stand naka-steady lang. Okay? Q. Han ano? Good morning. May I call this meeting to order? Welcome to our regular back meeting. But before we proceed to our business, let's invoke the blessings of God through a prayer.
Heavenly Father, as we gather today for our procurement activity, allow us to glorify you and give you thanks for the gift of life and wisdom. Thank you for allowing our partners in the construction industry to participate in this activity and giving us the opportunity to work with them. Send your Holy Spirit to guide us as we go on with this activity, removing all doubts and malice as we proceed to work for an orderly and successful procurement activity. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
May I request the Secretariat to introduce the attendees and state whether there is a quorum to proceed with the business of the day and present the agenda.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the BAC, TWG, observers, partners in the construction industry, social media viewers, and others attending this meeting via Zoom. Allow me to introduce the BAC members who are present today. BAC Chairman himself, Rasa Lozano, Vice Chairwoman, Eileen Domingo, regular member, Ferdinand Jingo Iting, provisional members, Alan Camello, Ruben Aldana, Noemi Garingan, and Chester Paul Takadena. From the TWG, Rochelle Ann Eugenio, Madonna Bagabay, Maria Ronabel Garingan, Alexander Joaquin. From the BAC Secretariat, yours truly, Brenda Carbonel, Eva Lovelyn Grospe, Seyus Jan Mabunga, Joel Tindungan, Ray Agustin, and Larry Ramel. Mr. Chairman, we have a quorum. And Mr. Chairman, for today's private conference, we have also invited our resident COA auditor. He is here with us, Mr. Pedro Mabun Jr., a representative from the National Constructors Association of the Philippines, and the Philippine Green Building Council through their emails, and none of them attended. That's all, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Sec. Madam Secretariat, kindly discuss the pertinent details regarding the procurement of the projects. And afterwards, Engineer Joel Tindungan will present and discuss the engineering aspects and technical specifications for these projects.
Once again, good morning. For today's private conference, December 15, 2023, for 5 infrastructure projects funded under FY 2023 and 2024 with contract ID 24BK0025, 23BK0147, 23BK0148, 23BK0149, and 23BK0150. I will be presenting the basic contract data including contract description, ABC and duration, the requirements of the bidding documents, and the documents to be submitted by the bidders on their technical and financial proposals. For the first project, Convergence and Special Support Program, construction improvement of access roads leading to declared destinations, Tourism Road Infrastructure Program, TRIP, Access Road leading to Eagles Beak, Tubatumbaket, Difun, Quirino. Contract ID 24BK0025. Scope of works, construction of concrete road. Approved budget for the contract, 14,700,000 pesos. Contract duration, 134 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents, 25,000 pesos. Pick up license category, CND, size range, small b. Second project is Sustainable Infrastructure Projects Alleviating Gaps, SIPAG, multipurpose buildings, facilities to support social services, construction of multipurpose building evacuation center at Dipintin de la Quirino. Contract ID 23BK0147, scope of works, construction of multipurpose building. Approved budget for the contract, 4,825,000 pesos. Contract duration, 134 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents, 5,000 pesos. Pick-up license category, CND, size range, small b. Next project is Sustainable Infrastructure Projects Alleviating Gaps, SIPAG, multipurpose buildings, facilities to support social services, construction of multipurpose building evacuation center at Dumabato Norte, Mandela, Quirino. Contract ID 23BK0148, scope of works, construction of multipurpose building. Approved budget for the contract, 4,825,000 pesos. Contract duration, 138 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents, 5,000 pesos. Pick-up license category, CND, size range, small b. Next project is Sustainable Infrastructure Projects Alleviating Gaps, SIPAG, multipurpose buildings, facilities to support social services, construction of multipurpose building, evacuation center at Zamora, CABARROGUIS, Quirino. Contract ID 23BK0149, scope of works, construction of multipurpose building. Approved budget for the contract, 4,825,000 pesos. Contract duration, 155 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents, 5,000 pesos. Pick-up license category, CND, size range, small b. Last project is Sustainable Infrastructure Projects Alleviating Gaps, SIPAG, multipurpose buildings, facilities to support social services, construction of multipurpose building at Matandi, Nagtipunan, Quirino. Contract ID 23BK0150, scope of works, construction of multipurpose building. Approved budget for the contract, 4,825,000 pesos. Contract duration, 138 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents, 5,000 pesos. Pick-up license category, CND, size range, small b. This private conference is to discuss, clarify, and explain, among other things, the eligibility requirements and the technical and financial component of the contract to be bid, including questions and clarifications raised by the prospective bidders before and during the private conference. It is conducted not earlier than 7 calendar days from the posting of invitation to bid and at least 12 calendar days before the deadline of submission of bids. A supplemental or bid bulletin is issued to answer questions or requests for clarifications or interpretation, and upon BAC's initiative to clarify or modify any provisions of the bidding documents. It is posted in the PhilJEPs and DPWH websites and at our bulletin board at least 7 calendar days before the deadline of bid submission. It is the duty of the prospective bidders to always check the websites for any issued bulletins. In the receipt and opening of bids, bids submitted should be on the date, time, and either at its physical address or through online submission specified in the advertisement through a single-stage two-envelope system. Bid should be valid for a period not exceeding 120 calendar days from the date of the opening of bids. The first envelope must contain the eligibility requirements and the technical component, and the second envelope must contain the financial component. In the sealing and marking of bids, Enclose the original eligibility and technical documents in one sealed envelope marked original technical component, and the other original financial component in another sealed envelope marked original financial component. Same will be done with the copies, copy number 1 and copy number 2. Seal both in an outer envelope marked original bid. The original technical and financial envelopes and the copy envelope shall be contained in one main envelope. The original and copies shall be typed or written in ink and shall be signed by the bidder or its duly authorized representative. All envelopes shall have the required information, the name of the contract to be bid, name and address of the bidder, recipient or the procuring entity, and a warning, do not open before the specified time and date. Same will be done with electronically submitted bids. Bids must be encrypted and password protected. The electronic submission and receipt of bids is governed by GPPB Resolution Number 9, Series of 2020. It uses a two-factor security procedure consisting of an archive format compression and password protection to ensure the security, integrity, and confidentiality of the bids submitted. It allows to a password-protected bidding documents on opening date and time. The password for accessing the file will be disclosed by the bidder only during the actual opening, which may be done in person or face-to-face through video conferencing, webcasting, or similar technology. It is capable of generating an audit trail of transactions to ensure the security, integrity, and authenticity of bid submissions. In the sealing and marking of bids, unsealed or unmarked bid envelopes will be rejected, while improperly sealed and marked bid envelopes will be accepted. Same will be done for electronically submitted bids, not compressed and password protected will be rejected, while improperly compressed and password protected will be accepted, provided that the bidder or its duly authorized representative shall acknowledge such condition of the bid as submitted. The bank shall assume no responsibility for the misplacement of the contents of the improperly sealed or marked bid or for its premature opening. Bids submitted after the deadline shall not be accepted. For bids submitted electronically, the BAC Secretariat shall generate a bid receipt page for the official time of submission, which can be saved or printed by the bidder upon receipt of the first and the second envelope. All bids may be modified before the deadline of submission of bids. A letter of withdrawal must be received prior to the deadline for submission and receipt of bids. A withdrawing bidder is not allowed to submit another bid. For bids withdrawn within the interval between the deadline and the expiration of bid validity, the bid security shall be forfeited. In case the submitted bids cannot be opened as scheduled due to justifiable reasons, the bank shall take custody of the said bids and reschedule the opening on the next working day or at the soonest possible time through the issuance of a notice of postponement to be posted in the PhilJEP's website and at the DPWH website. In the opening and preliminary examination of bids, the bank shall open the bids in public immediately after the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. In the opening of the first envelope, checking the presence or absence of the submitted documents against a checklist of required documents using a non-discretionary pass or fail criterion. In the opening of the second envelopes, only second envelopes of bidders whose first envelope was rated pass will be opened. Bids with missing, incomplete, or patently insufficient and or bid price exceeding the ABC shall be rated failed. The same will be applied for an electronic copy that cannot be opened or is corrupted shall be considered non-responsive and thus automatically disqualified. Only bidders whose both first and second envelopes were rated pass will be ranked. In the opening and evaluation of the first envelope, it must contain the eligibility requirements such as the legal, financial, and technical, its bid security, the technical specifications, and the omnibus turn-off statement. For the Class A documents under legal, must be the PhilJEP Certificate of Registration, registration certificate from SEC, DTI or CDA, mayor or business permit, and the tax clearance. For the technical, the statement of all ongoing contracts and the statement of single largest completed contract. And for the financial, the net financial contracting capacity or its committed line of credit, and the audited financial statement is stamp received by the BIR. Under the Class B document is a valid pickup license or special pickup license for JV, and a registration for the type and cost of the contract to be bid should be valid at the time of the deadline for the submission and the opening of bids. For the PhilJEP certificate of registration and membership, all bidders shall upload and maintain in PhilJEP's current and updated file of the following Class A eligibility documents under Section 23.1A and 24.1A, such as the registration certificate, the mayor or the business permit, the tax clearance, pickup license and registration, and the audited financial statement. For the business or the mayor's permit, a recently expired business or mayor's permit shall be accepted together with the official receipt as proof that the bidder has applied for renewal within the period prescribed by the concerned LGU. However, the renewed permit shall be submitted as a post-qualification requirement in accordance with Section 34.2 of the 2016 IRR of RA 9184. For the tax clearance, submission of BIR receipt for renewal of tax clearance will not suffice in lieu of a valid tax clearance requirement, since substitution is not allowed under Section 34.2 of the IRR of RA 9184. Submission of provisionary tax clearance issued by the BRR for bidding purposes is not acceptable form of tax clearance per GPPB Resolution Number 1, Series of 2014. For the single largest calculated contract, the SLCC completed shall be similar to the contract to be bid or has the same major categories of work. The SLCC value should be at least 50% of the ABC to be bid upon adjustment to current prices using the PSA consumer price indices. Contractors under small A and small B categories without similar experience on the contract may participate if the cost of the contract to bid is not more than the allowable range of contract cost of their registration. For the statement of all ongoing contracts, statement of the bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. For the pickup license, temporary pickup license shall not be accepted as an eligibility or documentary requirement in lieu of a valid pickup license. For the audited financial statement showing, among others, the bidder's total and current assets and liabilities is stamp received by the BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institutions for the preceding calendar year, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of bid submission. For the net financial contracting capacity, then FCC value should be at least equal to the ABC to be bid. It is computed as the current assets minus the current liabilities multiplied by the factor K minus the value of all outstanding or uncompleted portions of the projects under ongoing contracts, including awarded contracts yet to be started, coinciding with the contract to be bid. The constant factor K is set at 15 regardless of contract duration. For the eligibility requirements under Class B is the requirement for the joint ventures. A valid pickup license or special pickup license for JV and registration for the type and cost of the contract to be bid should be valid at the time of the deadline for the submission and receipt of bid. All co-venturers shall submit their legal documents, while any of the co-venturers shall submit technical and financial documents. Each partner of the joint venture shall submit the PhilJEP certificate of registration in accordance with Section 8.5.2 of the 2016 IRR of RA 9184. For the bid security, bidders must submit bid security to guarantee that the successful bidder shall within 10 calendar days from the receipt of the notice of award enter into contract with the procuring entity and furnish the performance security required. Only one form of bid security among the allowed forms is required to be submitted by the participating bidders. May it be cash or cashier's check, bank guarantee, draft or revocable letter of credit, or a surety bond callable upon demand, accompanied by certification from the Insurance Commission, or the bid securing declaration. For the project requirements, it must contain the following: the organizational chart for the contract to be bid, the list of contractors' personnel, such as the project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, and the foreman, to be assigned to the contract to be bid with their complete qualification and experience data, and the list of contractors' major equipment units which are owned, leased, and or under purchase agreement, supported by proof of ownership or certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor or vendor for the duration of the project. For the revised Omnibus Sworn Statement form, Statement number 3 was revised and the addition of Statement number 10, which states that in case advance payment was made or given, failure to perform or deliver any of the obligations and undertakings in the contract shall be sufficient ground to constitute criminal liability for swindling or the commission of fraud with unfaithfulness or abuse of confidence through misappropriating or converting any payment received by a person or entity under an obligation involving the duty to deliver certain goods or services to the prejudice of the public and the government of the Philippines pursuant to Article 315 of Act Number 3815, Series of 1930 as amended, or the revised penal code. For the contents of the second envelope, first is the financial bid form, including bid prices and bill of quantities, as well as applicable price schedules and other documents required in the bidding documents. In the detailed evaluation of bids, its purpose is to determine the lowest calculated bid by establishing correct calculated prices of bids and ranking calculated total bid prices from lowest to highest. An undiscretionary criterion shall be used, which shall include consideration of completeness of bids and minor arithmetical corrections. Results shall be contained in the abstract of bids as calculated. Placing no price is considered as non-responsive, while specifying a zero or dash means it is offered for free. And in case of discrepancies, bid price in figures versus bid price in words shall prevail. The total price per item versus unit price for the item multiplied by its quantity, the latter shall prevail. The stated total price versus the actual sum of prices of component items, the latter shall prevail. Unit cost and the detailed estimate versus unit cost and the bill of quantities, the latter shall prevail. No contact rule, which means prohibition on communication with bidders from bid evaluation until award of the contract. In the conduct of post-qualification, its purpose is to determine whether the lowest calculated bid complies with and is responsive to all requirements and conditions as specified in the bidding documents to be declared the lowest calculated and responsive bid. A non-discretionary pass or fail criterion shall be used to verify, validate, and ascertain all statements and documents submitted by the lowest calculated bid. For the award of the contract shall be awarded to the bidder with the lowest calculated responsive bid at its submitted price or total calculated bid price, whichever is lower. The BAC shall notify all other bidders of its recommendation to hope of award of contract to LCRB within 3 calendar days from the issuance of the resolution recommending award. The Hope shall have at most 15 calendar days to decide whether or not to approve or disapprove said recommendation. Interested bidders may obtain further information from the Procurement Unit, DPWH-QUIRINO District Engineering Office, and inspect the bidding documents during weekdays till December 28, 2023. A complete set of bidding documents may be acquired by interested bidders from our office upon payment of an applicable fee. It may also be downloaded free of charge from the PhilJEPS and DPWH websites. For the deadline of submission of bids for projects 23BK0147 to 150 on December 27, 2023, not later than 10 a.m. And for project 24BK0025 on December 28, 2023, not later than 10 a.m. Number of bid proposals to be submitted, 1 original and 2 duplicate copies. For the place of submission of bids for manual submission at Procurement Unit, DPWH-QUIRINO District Engineering Office, CABARROGUIS, Quirino. And for electronic submission at electronicbids_Quirino at dpwh.gov.ph. For further information, please refer to Engineer Brenda B. Carbonell, Officer in Charge, Procurement Unit, with email address at carbonell.brenda@dpwh.gov.ph. Thank you. Once again, good morning. For today's pre-bid conference, Once again, good morning. For today's pre-bid conference, December 15, 2023, for 5 infrastructure projects.
by Architect Eva Lablin Grospe.
For 23BK0147, Sustainable Infrastructure Projects, Alleviating Gaps, CPAG Multipurpose Buildings Facilities to Support Social Services, Construction of Multipurpose Building, Evacuation Center, Zamora, CABARROGUIS, QUIRINO. Perspective. Dimension, 10 meters by 33 meters. Dipintin, Madela, QUIRINO. 134 calendar days. Part 1, Provision of Progress Photographs, 4.47 months. Part 2, Other General Requirements, Permits and Clearances, 1 lump sum. Project Billboard, Signboard, 2 each. Occupational Safety and Health Program, 1 lump sum. Mobilization and demobilization, 1 lump sum. Part 3, Earthwork, Removal of Structures and Obstruction, 1 lump sum. Structure Excavation, Common Soil, 64.92 cubic meter. Embankment from roadway, Structure Excavation, 27.43 cubic meter. Gravel Fill, 21.06 cubic meter. Part B, Structural Concrete Class A, 0.99 cubic meter. Footings and slab on fill, 23.95 cubic meter. Footing tie beam, 5.18 cubic meter. Columns, 5.83 cubic meter. Beams, girder, 7.77 cubic meter. Reinforcing steel, grade 40, 4,425.52 kilograms. Formworks and false works, 61.78 square meters. Part C, Soil Poisoning, 8 liters. Catch Basin, 1 lump sum. Sewer Line Works, 1 lump sum. Storm Drainage and Downspout, 1 lump sum. Septic Vault, CHB, 1 lump sum. Plumbing and Fixtures, 1 lump sum. Cold Water Line, 1 lump sum. Ceiling, Metal Frame Fiber Cement Board, 358.63 square meters. Finishing Hardware, 1 lump sum. Residential Casement Steel, 21.24 square meters. Flush Door, 10.50 square meters. Frame Jambs, Seals, Head Transoms, and Mullions, 13 sets. Doors, Wood Panel, 15.60 square meters. Fabricated Metal Roofing Accessory, Ridge Hip Rolls, 15.60 linear meters. Flashing, 48.70 linear meters. Gutters, 32 linear meter. Prepainted metal sheets, rib types, long span, 686.70 square meters. Glazed tiles and trims, 62.28 square meters. Unglazed tiles, 317.20 square meters. Cement plaster finish, 643.90 square meters. Painting works steel, 322.80 square meters. Reflective insulation, 174.14 square meters. CHB non-load bearing, 100 mm, 126.43 kilograms. 150 mm, CHB 81.84 kilograms. Structural steel trusses, 1,112.96 kilograms. Purlins, 2,137.98 kilograms. Sagrads, 56.16 kilograms. Steel plates, 204.96 kilograms. Bolts, 39.95 kilograms. Electrical, conduits, boxes, and fittings, 1 lump sum, Wires and wiring devices, 1 lump sum. Panel board with main and branch breakers, 1 lump sum. Lighting fixtures and lamps, 1 lump sum. Air conditioning panel split type, 1 lump sum.
Thank you, Architect. Are there any queries, clarifications, or concerns regarding the project presented? Hearing none, let's proceed with the next.
BK 0148, Sustainable Infrastructure Projects, Alleviating Gaps, CPAG Multipurpose Buildings, Facilities to Support Social Services. Construction of Multipurpose Building, Dumabato Norte, Madela, Quirino. Calendar day, dimension. 16 by 10 meters. Calendar days, 155 days. Part 1. Provision of progress photographs, 5.17 months. Permits and clearances, 1 lump sum. Project billboard, signboard, 2 each. Occupational safety and health program, 1 lump sum. Mobilization, demobilization, 1 lump sum. Part 3. Earthwork, removal of structures and obstruction, 1 lump sum. Structure excavation, common soil, 56.19 cubic meter. Embankment, structure excavation, 40.65 cubic meter. Gravel fill, 20.08 cubic meter. Part B, structural concrete, 1.82 cubic meter. Footings and slab on fill, 26.67 cubic meter. Footing tie beam, 3.80 cubic meter. Columns, 11.51 cubic meter. Suspended slab, 3.98 cubic meter. Beams and girders, 13.286 cubic meters. Reinforcing steel, deform, grade 40, 8,382.43 kilograms. Formworks and false works, 126.43 square meters. Soil poisoning, 8 liters. Sewer line works, 1 lump sum. Plumbing fixtures, 1 lump sum. Cold water lines, 1 lump sum. Ceiling, 4.5 metal frame, fiber cement board, 281.73 square meters. Residential casement steel, 20.66 square meters. Frame jam seals, head, transoms, and mullions, 12 sets. Doors, flush, 3.36 square meters. Doors, wood panel, 18.48 square meters. Fabricated metal roofing accessories, ridge hip rolls, 12.10 linear meter. Flashing, 81.17 linear meters. Prepainted metal sheets, rib type, long span, 222.96 square meters. Floor finishes, 1 lump sum. Cement plaster finish, 661.14 square meters. Masonry, painting works masonry, 929.20 square meters. Painting works steel, 507.45 square meters. Reflective insulation, 197.88 square meters. CHB non-load bearing, 10 mm, 36.17 kilograms. CHB non-load bearing, 150 mm, 289.98 kilograms. Structural steel, 1 lump sum. Structural steel trusses, 2,671.34 kilograms. Purlins, 3,184.62 kilograms. Metal structure accessories, turnbuckle 12 each, cross bracing 118.62 kilograms, steel plates 470.47 kilograms, bolts 55.30 kilograms, sagrods 39.34 kilograms. Electrical conduits, boxes, and fittings 1 lump sum, wires and wiring devices 1 lump sum, panel board with main and branch breakers 1 lump sum, lighting fixtures and lamps 1 lump sum. Air conditioning package, split type 1 lump sum, fire alarm system 1 lump sum.
Thank you. Are there any queries, clarifications, or concerns with regards to the presented project? Hearing none, let's proceed with the next project.
For 123BK-0149, Sustainable Infrastructure Projects Alleviating Gaps, CPAG, Multipurpose Buildings, Facilities to Support Social Services, Completion of Multipurpose Building Evacuation Center, Zamora, CABARROGUIS, QUIRINO. Total project duration, 155 calendar days. Part 1, provision of progress photographs, 5.17 months. Part 2, permits and clearances, 1 lump sum. Project billboard, signboard, 2 each. Occupational safety and health program, 1 lump sum. Mobilization, demobilization, 1 lump sum. Part A, structure excavation, common soil, 75.03 cubic meter. Embankment, structure excavation, 60.02 cubic meter. Embankment from barrow, 3.81 cubic meter. Gravel fill, 11.51 cubic meter. Part B, structural concrete, Class A, 3.20 cubic meter. Structural concrete slab, footings and slab on fill, 18.38 cubic meter. Footing tie beams, 3.51 cubic meter. Columns, 9.74 cubic meter. Suspended slab, 13.38 cubic meter. Beams, girders, 14.10 cubic meter. Reinforcing steel, grade 40, 7,925.52 kilograms. Formworks and false works, 155.43 square meters. Part C, soil poisoning, 5 liters. Sewer line works, 1 lump sum. Septic vault, concrete, CHB, 1 lump sum. Plumbing fixtures, 1 lump sum. Cold water lines, 1 lump sum. Ceiling, 4.5 metal frame, fiber cement board, 348.65 square meters. Aluminum glass windows, sliding type, 47.52 square meters. Owning type, 4.96 square meters. Frames, jam seals, head transoms and mullions, 18 sets. Doors, flush, 10.08 square meters. Doors, wood panel, 24.36 square meters. Fabricated metal roofing accessories, flashing, 63.60 linear meters. Metal painted roofing sheet, rib type, long span, 223.40 square meters. Cement plaster finish, 548.62 square meters. Painting works, masonry, concrete, 897.27 square meters. Painting works, steel, 442.44 square meters. Reflective insulation, 223.40. CHB non-load bearing, 100 mm, 134.70 square meters. CHB non-load bearing, 150 mm, 165.57 square meters. Structural steel trusses, 2,702.88 kilograms. Purlins, 2,497.03 kilograms. Turnbuckle, 16 each. Cross bracing, 150.52 kilograms. Steel plates, 292.11 kilograms. Bolts, 45.90 kilograms. Sagrods, 83.58 kilograms. Electrical conduits, boxes and fittings, 1 lump sum. Wires and wiring devices, 1 lump sum. Panel with main and branch breakers, 1 lump sum. Lighting fixtures and lamps, 1 lump sum. Air conditioning package split type, 1 lump sum.
Thank you. Are there any queries, clarifications, or concerns with regards to the presented projects? Hearing none, let's proceed to the last project.
For 23BK0150, Sustainable Infrastructure Projects, Alleviating Gaps, CPAG Multipurpose Buildings, Facilities to Support Social Services, Construction of Multipurpose Building, Matadi, Nagtipunan, Quirino. Dimension, 10.15 meters. Duration, 138 calendar days. Part 1, Provision of Progress Photographs, 4.60 months. Permits and clearances, 1 lump sum. Project billboard, signboard, 2 each. Occupational Safety and Health Program, 1 lump sum. Mobilization, demobilization, 1 lump sum. Part 3, Structural Excavation, Common Soil, 367.70 cubic meter. Embankment, Structure Excavation, 62.02 cubic meter. Gravel Fill, 33.70 cubic meter. Structural Concrete, 65.78 cubic meter. Footings and slab on fill, 29.62 cubic meter. Footing tie beams, 5 cubic meter. Columns, 7.57 cubic meter. Beams, girders, 9.51 cubic meter. Reinforcing steel, deform, grade 40, 9,820.24 kilograms. Formworks and false works, 125.60 square meters. Soil poisoning, 9 liters. Sewer line works, 1 lump sum. Septic vault, CHB, 1 lump sum. Plumbing fixtures, 1 lump sum. Cold water lines, 1 lump sum. Ceiling, 4.5 metal frame fiber cement board, 25.60 square meters. Finishing hardware, 1 lump sum. Residential casement steel, 13.68 square meters. Flush door, 3.36 square meters. Frame, jam seals, head transoms and mullions, 11 sets. Doors, wood panel, 3.57 square meters. Roll-up doors, 1 lump sum. Fabricated metal roofing accessory, ridge hip rolls, 17 linear meters. Flashings, 26 linear meters. Prepainted metal sheets, rib type, long span, 221 square meters. Glaze tiles and trims, 22.24 square meters. And glaze tiles, 15 square meters. Cement plaster finish, 218.19 square meters. Painting works, masonry, concrete, 244.69 square meters. Steel, 4.28.14 square meters. CHB non-load bearing, 100 mm, 59.10 kilograms. 150 mm CHB, 100 kilograms. Square meters. Structural steel trusses, 1,391.25 kilograms. Purlins, 2,842.44 kilograms. Metal structure accessories, turnbuckle, 12 each. Sagrods, 69.27 kilograms. Cross bracing, 155.33 kilograms. Steel plates, 215.48 kilograms. Bolts, 26.50 kilograms. Electrical conduits, boxes, and fittings, 1 lump sum. Wires and wiring devices, 1 lump sum. Panel board with main and branch breakers, 1 lump sum. Lighting fixtures and lamps, 1 lump sum. Thank you.
Thank you, Architect Eva Grospe. Are there any queries, clarifications, or concerns with regards to the presented project? Hearing none. Any announcement from the back secretariat?
For the information of everyone, our next procurement activities will be on December 19, 10 a.m. Opening of bids for 3 civil works, 24 BK 0027, 28, 29, and 3 RFQs. And on December 20, same time, 10 a.m., opening of bids for 6 farm to market roads, contract ID numbers 23 BK 0135 to 140, and 2 RFQs. And on December 21, same time, 10 a.m., opening of bids for another 6 farm to market roads, 23 BK 0141 to 146. That's all, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Sec. Please take note of our procurement schedules and be guided accordingly. Hope to see you all during the submission, receipt, opening, and preliminary examination of bids. There being no matters, other matters to discuss, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you and Merry Christmas. Christmas patay.